If I can get to the organization and everything I did for this camp, imagine the beast I could become.
One more guest to go, and what a weekend for her. Finally, after all these years, she becomes a UFC champion, the UFC Strawweight champion, and joins the legendary Fabricio Verdum as the only two competitors in the history of martial arts to win an IBJJF, to win an ADCC, and then to win a UFC title. It's her and Cavallo. What company that is. We're talking to the great Mackenzie Dern, who is the brand new UFC women's 115-pound champion. She's kind enough to join us on this Monday afternoon. Hello, Mackenzie. Parabéns to you. Congratulations.
Thank you, Ariel. Man, it's been such a long time coming. So thank you so much. It feels amazing. I'm like, ooh, my first interview now.
Okay, what an honor.
Champion.
Thank you. Yes, we've done this a lot after regular fights, but never after a title fight. And now you are the champion. By the way, where is the belt?
Oh, it's in my living room.
Okay.
Do you want me to get it?
Yeah, let's see it. Let's see it. This is a big deal.
It's the most beautiful thing.
Is it heavy or heavier than you thought?
Yeah, it's heavy.
Had you ever held one before?
I don't know, actually. I don't remember. I think I've held one. It's here, right? It's right here.
Oh yeah, wow.
Right here, right next to my one when I beat Gabby at my world.
Oh yes.
10 years ago. So
that's incredible. What is it like? Like you're touching that in your home and it's yours. It's yours. Yeah. What is that like?
Like I said, it's beautiful. It's just it's very fulfilling, every time. It's fulfilling and it's fulfilling, but more than fulfilling, it's motivating, It really is just motivating me to get. I said, man, I trained this good for 8 weeks, Imagine I live my whole life like this, like just every day, you know what I mean? I feel even weird. Of course, I'm like recovering right now.
Yeah.
But I just feel weird not doing what I was doing the last 8 weeks, I just want to keep doing that more. And I feel like obviously I've been training my whole life, so it's not that we just trained 8 weeks and that's what made you a champion, but you know what I mean? If I can get to the organization and everything I did for this camp and just keep it instead of 2 weeks or 2 months, be 6 months, a whole year, 3 years, it's like, imagine the beast I could become.
Yes. It's interesting. I thought your demeanor in the post-fight press conference was really interesting because it felt like you were happy, but also you were talking about, okay, what's next and motivated to do better and all this stuff. Are you allowing yourself to smell the roses here? Are you allowing yourself to just enjoy this accomplishment?
No.
Why?
I'm trying to. I was on the airplane with Bruce and Mike Bisping. And, basically we're in the lounge, on the airplane, just coming back, and Bisping was just kind of really, my first impressions are just kind of like me just thinking about how I wanted to get a submission or a knockout and things like that. And just, Bisping really just told me hey man, you got to just take it in. It was and my manager Tiki was there, and just how it was a well-deserved fight. You know what I mean? We fought for it, and first, I wanted man, I wish I could get the belt with this beautiful performance, but it's man, that was worth it, you know what I mean? I'm glad I won the belt like that too, you know what I mean? I wasn't dethroning someone. It was Vienna's a tough girl, and she was giving everything, and she was focused in there, and I speak Portuguese and English, so I'm hearing her coaches, and I'm hearing how they're they were aligned, you know what I mean? Her and her coaches, they were very good. Their connection, I could feel it in the fight. And me and Perla, we were super connected. So it was a really, really fun fight. Just thinking about how that was and then, of course, you don't want the eye poke and everything, but basically my fight kind of became the main event.
Yes.
So it was just crazy that's how it happened. So it's still surreal, but Bisping just kind of got me into really taking it, taking it all in, and but yeah, definitely makes you want to work harder.
How is your eye, by the way? Because in the shots over there, we could tell that it was a little bit, swollen. How is it doing now after the flight?
Yeah, no, it's totally swollen. It's not the worst I've been, but my hand is super swollen. So
oh,
that's
wow. Wow. You think it's broken?
No, I don't think it's broken. I just think it was from a lot of my elbow too. My elbow's like killing me from all the
Oh
elbows.
wow, wow. What is it like on the
Yeah.
plane with your face swollen and your hand swollen, your elbow swollen like that? What is that like?
Oh, it was just like
Oh,
just like a lot of pressure, you know. And
yeah.
then of course I'm doing like interviews and I have like blood dripping down my face and I'm like, oh my gosh. But it's all part of it, you know. And it was like just dealing that during the flight. But I mean, they have people way worse. I could have like my jaw broken or something like that, my nose broken, but everything's good. Everything's just kind of like superficial, you know.
December 2020, you beat her. Here you are fighting her 5 years later. Was she a much different fighter 5 years later?
Um, I mean, yeah, she was for sure. I mean, the first time we fought, she didn't try to take me down at all. You know, she didn't go for any takedown, and she got like the most. She took me down the most times I've ever been taken down. You know, so she had a different game plan for sure. I think strength wise, I felt her the same. I felt like I was faster. You know, and the last time I felt like me and her were a little bit like more similar, you know, in our striking, just as kind of we're giving heart and just kind of throwing some bombs and stuff like that. But I felt like I felt her better. I felt her more focused. I felt her more confident than the first time. Um, and I felt her just um, like attacking the takedowns and really wanting to win, like strategically and just, you know, it was important for her. You could feel that.
Did you not expect her to try to take you down because she didn't the first time around? Like, were you surprised by her game plan this time?
No, she did exactly what I thought she
Okay.
was gonna do. I thought she was gonna be like striking and then trying to get the takedowns. I didn't think that she was gonna like want to give me take me down in the first minute and do like a whole grappling exchange. I didn't think she would want to take me down and try and pass my guard and try and open up too much on the ground and pound. I thought she would do more like the way she did is kind of like more takedowns to kind of just steal the round or control and try and stay safe on the feet. And then just try and like, you know, be the champion, you know, try and win, like do like not get overexposed, you know, something like that, and just kind of win the rounds like that. And
What
that's what I feel like she did, you know, or tried to do.
the scenes afterwards were, I mean, so emotional, so beautiful to see you and your dad. And we all know about the history between you two. Then you and your daughter. We saw your mom in the crowd as well. I mean, there's just so much emotion, so much. Just look at this stuff. This is incredible. Can you even describe how you're feeling in that moment?
No, I mean, I just, yeah, for me, I'm so blessed, you know what I mean, to be able to have my father in my corner, you know, on this ride and to have my daughter there too. It's like, you know, these are the most like the two people, I mean, three people like that we have the most like unconditional love in our lives, you know what I mean? It's like your father and your mom, your dad, you know, that they give up like everything they do, you know, is for you. And then my daughter, who everything I do is for her kind of thing, you know, and just to have both of them there with me. It's amazing that I was able to have that, you know, because some people, you know, their parents aren't even here anymore. So yeah, I'm super blessed, and I just feel like, man, I feel like I've been doing something right. You know what I mean? I feel like I've been doing something right in my life to be blessed like that, you know. And I just got to keep going,
How do
like
you
keeping calm.
how do you separate? Like you're your daughter's mom, and she obviously you told a great story at the post fight press conference. Like sometimes she'll tell kids at the park, like I'm gonna go tell my mom she's a fighter, like you guys are bothering me. Like she understands what you do, but she's still so young. And so I'm sure on fight week she wants her mom at times, but you're cutting weight, you're doing all this stuff, and then you're performing in front of her, you're fighting in front of her, and you don't want to let her down, I suppose. That's a lot of like extra pressure to put on a person. And I think more so than if a fighter is fighting in front of their kids, because let's be honest, like the connection is just different when it's your mother. That's what I think. It's just different. And so, how do you handle that? How do you deal with balancing that out?
You know, like honestly, Mo is so good with just like my wins and losses. You know, it's like I've coming back from my fight with Jessica Andrade in New York that she didn't go to, and my fight against Amanda Lemos that she also didn't go to. And both of those, I got beat up pretty bad. I mean, Jessica wasn't too injured, but I mean, I got TK'd like four times in one round, you know. So when did come back, and she's like, "Oh, did you win?" And I'm like, "No." And then she'll like kiss my face, and then she's like, "Okay, let's go play." So then she, like her herself, she turns that on like my mom. You know, you're just my mom. I just want you like, okay, that's fine. Let's go play. You know what I mean? I want you like as a mom right now, not as a fighter. She doesn't, you know. and I'm kind of like, and that helps me because I'm like all sad, and I just see how like for her she doesn't care if it's a win or it's a loss or things like that. Um, so I don't feel that pressure. You know what I mean? I what I feel is just like I wanted her to I just what I wanted her the most to get from just being part of this is just seeing the wins and the losses and how we have to just keep going, for whatever we want to do in life. Like whatever she decides to do. Hopefully she doesn't do MMA.
You don't want that?
But nah, I mean, I don't know. If she loves it, then yes. But if she doesn't love it, then I don't want her to do it. You know what I mean? Like for pressure, or just like for money or something like
Yeah.
that. But if it's what she loves, then it'll be worth it for her for sure because it's hard. It's a really hard journey. You're
What
kind
about
of alone.
what about competitive jiu-jitsu?
Oh yeah. I mean, she doesn't even need to compete. But to at least to get her black belts, so I can feel safe with my little girl's far away from mom that she can defend herself. And but yeah, definitely if she like to compete and get sponsors and do all these super fights and who knows, fight at the jiu-jitsu for the UFC eventually when she's older, I would love that.
And you mentioned those two losses, Lemos and Andrade. They're not that long ago, end of 23, 24. If we would have talked after the second one, because they were back to back, yeah, in 3 fights you'd be UFC champion. Would you have believed that everything would have turned around? Did you still have that hope, or did you lose the hope at one point?
No, I had the hope because for me, if I would have beat Jessica, then I would have been like a number one contender. And for me, if I would have beat Amanda Lemos because she had just fought for the belt, I would have been a number one contender. So I felt like I felt like I kept feeling like every time I was almost there, I would like fall short. You know what I mean? But the opportunity was there lots of times. I feel like I've had the opportunities against Yan. If I would have beat Yan, then I would have probably been like maybe number one contender. Um, Even Marina, I was on like a good streak. You know what I mean? So every time, that's why I was kind of like a little bit pressure going into this fight on a personal level because I felt like every time I was given the opportunity to like show up, I was falling short. But so I felt like it was near. It's just I needed to learn something that I wasn't learning. My daughter's running out of the house.
The famous,
Um,
the famous Moa.
yeah, she's playing with the dogs. She's so happy to be back home too. But yeah, so it's like there was something that I was needing to learn or some experience that I was needing to gain. Um, but we knew going into this fight that a big difference was going to be like the meanness and just kind of being everyone in the gym, they all know that I'm like really mean. Mean in a good way. But like Cheeto and Nick and all the guys we train with, they're always like, they're playing light with me and I'm throwing like
Oh
100%.
wow. The winning ADCC, IBJJF, like some of your greatest jiu-jitsu accomplishments, Gabby Garcia, and comparing it to this one, to winning a UFC title, which one means more to you? Which one means the most?
Oh man. No, this one for sure.
Really? Why is that?
Yeah. Um, just everything that was involved in it, you know what I mean? Like the height of it. I mean, it's one thing to accomplish like a jiu-jitsu tournament that I've been training my whole life, you know what I mean? Like so it's like eventually for how many years I've been training, I feel like it was something. It would be like really like that's like 20 years I'm training a sport, you know what I mean? And then for me to get it, it was very fulfilling. But man, to get to this level against like I'm fighting other girls that are like champions in their own sport, like we could be Olympic wrestlers or judo Olympians or kickboxing world champions. And then like kind of who has the best, who's able to adapt their weak points and everything. It's like that's a different level, you know what I mean? And yeah, I think just kind of with my daughter during the whole phase of like me being, pregnant and being a mother and just all the other divorces and the whole fame and everything. It's definitely a lot more pressure than when I was like, just training when I'm 14 years old until I'm like 20 and, school and the gym, and then had my dad like just supporting me. It's like you didn't really have big problems in life. You just train.
During any of those early days, the weight issues or even getting pregnant, and like, was there any moment where you're like, you know what, this was a nice little run for me competitively, but I'm done? I've had enough. Did you ever consider just walking away?
Yeah, I mean, there were a couple times when I thought, man, maybe my journey won't be me being a champion. Maybe my journey will just me being like an exciting fighter that maybe gets a lot of like maybe does a lot of good performances. But I mean, how many great fighters do we see that are like they have amazing fights and they have everything to be a champion? You can tell they're like a champion, but it didn't come. You know what I mean? And sometimes I thought maybe that was just kind of going to be my journey, but I didn't want to like give into that. I thought like, okay, well, at least I'm going to try my best all the way until I feel like I can't do it anymore.
Would you have been okay with that, or do you think it would have bothered you if you didn't climb this mountain too?
No, it would have, I mean, I wouldn't be like frustrated, but I mean, I was trying to like already, prepare myself for that, just in case. And then, you're kind of like trying to figure out, okay, if I don't make it, where what ways are we going to be making money outside of the fighting world, just fights and things like that. How can I try and think, for Mo's future, for my future, and things like that. So I think I was just kind of trying to prepare myself in those ways so I could have like a plan B and C. But on a like personal, my dream goals, I was like, man, I can't, I'm coming too far to not get there, you know what I mean?
Are you hoping Zhang Wei Li loses next month and comes down to 115, and then you could beat her? Is that the hope?
No, 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 no. I'm not cheering like anyone. I'm not hoping for no one to win or lose or anything like that. Like on those terms, I'm taking advantage of like the feeling right now, just kind of soaking in all that confidence and all that like to believe in myself and just like okay, kind of organize my mind and see exactly all the good things that we did in this camp and just trying to figure out as soon as I can start doing that again, even without a fight scheduled, and then just be kind of prepared for whoever gets offered next, because I'm not gonna be like a baby champion, you know what I mean? I'm gonna be like someone who's like whatever they want us to do, you know what I mean? And we'll be ready and we'll train for that, you know what I mean? It's like that's how that's how I'm gonna be because I want to beat the best, you know what I mean? I am the best right now, but I want to
Yes.
be able to beat whoever's coming, you know what I mean? So it's like that's why I train. So I think that's why I went through those losses because I'm like exchanging with strikers and I'm like, grappling with grapplers and, accepting to be on bottom with like good wrestlers and all these things. So I feel like that was the whole goal, of my whole journey was so I can be a well-rounded champion, not like just one style.
If it's not her, do you think Tatiana makes the most sense? Do you have any sort of feelings as to who might be your opponent in your first title defense?
No, I mean I know they have. I think probably someone with like a win streak. I think Whaley, even if she was to lose to Valentina, but her win streak at like her being the former champion, that makes sense. And then Tatiana is coming off a win. So I mean, I think like maybe if she had another fight, like 2 wins, but I mean, on the top, whatever 5 or 6 or 7, I think Lucinda is fighting Jillian Robertson, and I don't know how many of them are coming, like how big their win streaks are, but. Yeah, I mean, I think even like just 2 fights is already good enough to like kind of come and fight for the belt. I mean, that's how I fought for the belt with 2 wins.
And yeah, right now it's a little bit wide open, but you do have a history with some of these people, so they can run it back as well. I just wanted to ask you a couple more questions, and then we'll let you go because I know you just came home. Before the fight, did you happen to see what Dean Thomas said about the title fight, and did that bother you? Considering he's a commentator for the UFC, in case those at home or maybe you don't know, he called this, an insignificant title fight. The specific quote was, "I'm trying to be as respectful as possible, but has there ever been a more insignificant title fight in the history? Not maybe in the history, but maybe in the last recent memory of the UFC." Did that bother you hearing that?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I just I don't know. It's like John Jones gave him his belt, and Tom Aspinall became the champion. It's like what do we in the division have to do with, like people can't retire or people can, want to just go up a weight class and change the thing. So it's like if there's a vacated belt, who else were they thinking? Who else would fight for the belt? So I don't understand what would be so insignificant about fighting a champion when I mean, Whaley, if she wanted to, she's accomplished everything. She's accomplished everything. She didn't even need to go up to the weight. If she wanted to just retire, she could just retire it. And then what are they going to do? They're going to keep the division open.
Right.
They got to have a champion. So I don't understand how is it? How is any champion fight like insignificant? You know what I mean? So it's just kind of crazy for me to like hear. Hey, unless he's talking about stylistically wise, but it's like I mean, Brina was on a five fight win streak, like some mating and taking down this girl. She's like a strawweight mini Khabib kind of girl. You know what I mean? And then it's like, I don't know who else he wanted to fight with. So I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I don't understand as a commentator, and I think he's even like helps with training and coaches and stuff. I thought it was kind of a little bit, I didn't understand it.
We did see Bia Mesquite make the transition over to the UFC from the world of jiu-jitsu, another legend, if you will. Did you happen to see her fight? And what do you think her ceiling is?
Yeah, Via did amazing. I was super excited and super happy for her. We trained together since we were like little kids, so she's an Aries too,
Uh,
so I know she has that in her, just kind of like to be a leader and go and always pushing for more and very like intense in everything she does. I think she's super adapted well, like with her takedowns and ground and pound, like at her first UFC debut. And I think for like the 135 division, she can go really, really far. I think I could see her being a champ too. So yeah, I'm really, really, really excited for her, and I think she's gonna have a great career.
and by the way, what about you and PBR? I saw a video of you going crazy at the PBR event. Are you a big fan of bull riding? Is this something you want to do as well?
No, not do it, but yeah, I think it's so cool, just what these athletes do, the guys, it's like it's crazy. I mean, we fight against people, you know what I mean? I can fight it like that's skin and bone. These are like these bulls that are like every time they go out they could die, and they have like a tournament almost every weekend. And so it's so crazy how what they do and just the vibe too, everyone's like they're very like they have a lot of faith and kind of just family and you know simple, and it's like it's a cool community. I really like it. And I was born in Arizona. I used to barrel race when I was young,
Oh,
so
wow.
I'm totally into this kind of stuff.
Last thing for you. Can I ask if you even remember? You may not remember. What did your father say to you when you had a chance in the back? In the locker room, you're the champion. You've been through so much together. He got you on this path. You said in the post-fight press conference, if it wasn't for him, you probably don't even go down any sort of martial arts path, right? He's a legend in his own right. Do you remember anything that he said to you afterwards?
um I mean, he's simple, you know what I mean? It's like he doesn't even need to say too much. I mean, even until now, we got home from the flight from Abu Dhabi, and then I asked him like, "Oh, Dad, are you proud? Like, how are you feeling? Like, it's pretty cool, huh?" And then he was just like, "Yeah, yeah, 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 I'm proud of you." You know what I mean? Just like very, very simple, but it's like I can just tell like the way he hugs me, the way he's happy. He just feels very like very proud. He doesn't even need to say anything. He just feels very proud. And just kind of before my fight, he just kept telling me, like go out, go after what is yours. You know what I mean? Go and get what's yours. He just kept saying that to me. Um, Before I went out to the fight. And so yeah, he's definitely proud. But of course, I think he's just always. I don't think he even wants to say too much, so he doesn't get emotional. Honestly.
Well, what a journey in jiu-jitsu and MMA. I remember your legacy debut in 2016. Everyone was talking, okay, what is she going to do? Does she like to get punched in the face? Can she handle getting punched? Can she make weight? UFC debut in 2018 and all the ups and downs. You have a kid, you come back, you become like a freaking Hulk out there. All of a sudden, the muscles show up after becoming a mom. Amazing to see the transformation, and now you become a UFC champion. It's been an incredible journey. You've withstood it all, you've overcome it all, and now you get to enjoy the spoils of the victory. So, congratulations, Mackenzie. Thank you so much for coming on the program. Really means a lot, and hope you enjoy it, and hope you allow yourself some time to smell the roses as well, because I know this has been a long road for you, and you deserve that.
Man, thank you so much, Ariel. I appreciate that. And yeah, it's been like such a pleasure just getting to know you, and you always covering like great stuff. So since the beginning. So yeah, it's a pleasure to be here and talking to you about this. And yeah, thanks to all the fans and super excited. And I think there's going to be lots of great things coming. So thank you again.
Thank you, Mackenzie. All the best.
Bye.
There she is, Mackenzie Dern, the brand new UFC women's strawweight champion. She is the 115-pound champion. In case you don't know what strawweight is, you probably do if you watch this show. And I'm really curious to see what happens. Now the next step is the Zhang Weili fight. If Zhang wins, she's now the flyweight champion. If she loses, what does she do? And the same question can be asked of one Islam Makhachev. Thanks for watching this video. Before you go, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button for us. Also, give us a thumbs up, leave a nice comment. These things go a long way. And while you're here, do check out the rest of the channel. We've got live shows and full interviews, clips, and a whole lot more. We're doing big things here, and we appreciate your support very much.